those C-130s can fly into Berlin higher than 8,000 feet. And the United States said, bullshit. We'll fly 130s in there at any altitude, anytime we want to. And so we had airplanes scattered all over Europe. And it so happened that we were down in Tripoli, like Libya, down in Gaddafi's.
Muammar Gaddafi.
Who?
Muammar Gaddafi?
Yeah, Gaddafi. We were there, and they called us all back to our home bases at Erding. Well, it just so happened that I read the intelligence reports every day, so I saw this coming. So I got my flight together and I said, we're going to draw up emergency plans to leave here and go back to Erding. We're going to do them for our own airplanes, and we're going to do them for everybody else's airplanes. And so we made out all these things. Well, it so happened that we were playing tennis with the CO and the operations officer and another flight officer, same as I was. And so sure enough, here comes a Jeep down with sirens. And they said, Colonel Rankin, you've got to get your airplanes back to Erding immediately. So he looks at our operations officer and he says, do you have any flight plans? Where are we going to go? And the guy says, no, I don't have any. I said, Colonel, I have them for every airplane in the entire squadron. And he says, what the hell are you talking about? I said, I read the intelligence thing. I saw this coming, so I made up the flight plan. So he says, all right, seeing you know the route, you made it up, then you be the leader. And the operations officer will fly your number 3 man, and you pick who you want for your 2 and 4 men. So our plan called for us to land at Pisa, Italy. So when we got up over Pisa, the clouds were 35,000, and we were supposed to be at 20,000 over the high cone. So as we're approaching this, now we have ADF. We don't have GPS. We don't have the hell's the other thing we had later on. It told you how many miles. But anyhow, it would tell you how far you are from the radio station. And DME, distant measuring equipment. And so you lock on to Pisa, and then you could, at about 100 miles out, you could flip over, and it would tell you you're 100, you're 80, you're 70, and you're over. And then you got to make your penetration come down. So as soon as we got in Pisa's range, I called them. And I said, Pisa approach control, this is Air Force 1234. What do you have for weather? and he says, she's a rainin'. And so I said to him, yeah, I understand that she's a rainin', but what's the ceiling in visibility? He says, she's a rainin' very hard. And I said, well, guys, she's a rainin'. So I said, all right, the three of you stay up at high cone, and I'll make a penetration, go down, land, and then I'll let you know what the ceiling and visibility is. So I go down there and make the approach, and it's a couple hundred feet, which for us in those days was nothing. I have 3 0-0 landings. That's where the clouds are on the deck, and you couldn't see that television set. So I go down and I land, and number 2 says, number 1, what's the weather like? I said, she's a rain. And he says, knock that shit off. I said, she's a rainin' hard. You come on down, there's no problem. I said, you got a couple hundred feet and 3 or 4 miles.
You made a big story out of it. Or I want you to know it's a rain.